cutting down this tree in front of the studio. It is really old for the kind of tree that it is, and it is leaning towards the studio, and we're supposed to have an ice storm this weekend, so it could fall. So yep. So here's an update. That's what's left of it. It is the next day. It got dark, so we stopped. Okay, so I'm done with all the other stuff I was gonna do, and now I'm like thinking about trying to get back all of the boards that these paintings that I'm working on are taped to while I work on them, so that I can work on lots of tarot pieces all at once. So I might as well finish this painting instead of just taking it off, right? This week was really crazy. There was a lot of really bad weather and really strange different things going on, like having to cut down a tree, which I wanted to cut down for a while because it was leaning towards the studio, and that just made me really nervous. We had some of those trees at our last house, and one of them fell down during a hurricane. One of them fell down during a light thunderstorm, and I had just sat down on the couch when it fell, and it smashed into the porch right behind the couch. And thankfully another tree stopped it from coming through the window and hitting me, so that was exciting. And it actually split in half, and part of it stayed standing, part of it fell on the house, and then later on it was like a perfectly still day in May, nothing, no wind, and it fell the rest of the way down across our driveway. So having had some experience with those trees, I just really didn't want to leave it there for too long because it was really big and old, and I've had enough experience now with Bradford pear trees to know that they kind of will just split in half and fall down whenever they want. Conditions don't even have to be that extreme. So yeah, it was an entire day cutting down that tree, and then in the end, all of our chainsaws were out of gas, and the only chainsaw left was my little electric, like 10-inch chainsaw. And since it was leaning towards the house, we had to attach a rope around it, and I had to pull it down with the truck while my husband cut it with my little electric chainsaw. So that was quite the adrenaline rush when it fell the rest of the way down, and thankfully I managed to pull it the right direction with the truck that it fell next to the house and not on the house. So, and of course the bad weather has been cold weather, so that makes the studio almost unbearable sometimes. It's usually cold when I come in, and it's kind of hard to get started working when it's that cold, and you have to get the fire going, and sometimes that takes a long time. I have a new stove, so it's energy efficient, which is good because it means that your firewood lasts longer. But it's also really difficult to light it sometimes, especially when it's really cold and the firebox is really cold. It's really difficult to get it hot enough to combust anything you put in it. Some mornings I have spent like an hour just trying to get the fire going so that it would be bearable in here. I do really enjoy having a fire though. I really miss that at our old house, and I'm glad to have it now. But I am also really looking forward to spring and being able to get up and open the studio doors and like let the sunshine and the fresh air in and listen to the birds sing. I am really excited about that. In fact, I am so excited about that during the last week, whenever I took a break from painting, I usually ended up on the computer looking at gardening websites, and I ended up ordering some raised garden beds and lots of berry bushes and some fruit trees and about 56 packets of seeds. And then one of my good friends was telling me about some roses that I should get. So now I'm telling myself no more ordering any more plants until the ones that I already ordered arrived. And I also haven't even gone to any local nurseries yet this year. So it's been so cold, I don't want to try to keep things alive after I buy them, because I've done that in other years. And even though we are looking to have some pretty decently high temperatures, close to 70 degrees in the next several days, Georgia can get really warm and then have a cold snap, and it can keep doing that up until like the middle of April where I live, or even I think I've seen a cold snap that killed my plants as late as like April 20th here. So I don't want to do that whole thing where I buy a whole bunch of plants and then I have to constantly be carrying them back and forth into the house and trying to find somewhere to keep them at night where my cats won't eat them. I I don't know. I've done that before. I don't want to do that again. I am kind of building a little greenhouse thing, but it's already not going to be big enough for all of the stuff that I ordered. So I can't start getting more plants. I just won't have anywhere to put them. It's a struggle. Being a crazy plant lady is very fun and exciting, and there are way too many things to buy. But I'm really looking forward to being able to grow at least some of our own food. We have eggs now. We had a nice garden at our last house, and they acted like they were really interested in it, but then they just bulldozed it and probably threw away all of my perennial vegetables. Don't sweat the technique. I always sound like I'm asking questions. All right, it is Sunday, which is my Monday, so it's time to start doing some stuff, I guess. Personally, I prefer to paint on this drafting table instead of on a easel, even though I know a lot of people use easels. Because I have a really, really bad back, and I also have a lot of problems with my neck. And what I've found is that sitting here at this angle, rather than having it be completely vertical or even close to vertical like a easel would be, this is a lot easier for my back and my neck. So you don't have to paint on an easel unless you're painting something really big that won't fit on a table. Okay, well, I'm gonna get started, and it looks like my camera battery is almost out, so I'm gonna recharge my battery, and I don't know, I'm just gonna do some kind of a basic underpainting on this one. I'm not totally sure yet if I'm gonna do underpainting with some color or if I'm going to do just neutral tones at this point. I also really miss the thicket of blackberries that grew behind our old house. That was really fun and so nice to have so many berries for free. And we didn't have to water them or do anything because they grew wild right there in our backyard. I haven't in a couple minutes, although you're getting real close to that bowl again. Run! Those were actually our neighbor's ducks. At our old house, we weren't really allowed to have animals, and it was just a county rule or something. But our neighbor would buy ducks every spring just two. And she would just let them run around the neighborhood. And they were really cute, but they don't let you pick them up or pet them. I don't really think that most ducks are very tame in that way. It's pretty unusual. And I have held my ducks since they were little and like bathed them and loved them and watched TV with them. And to this day, they will not let me pick them up when they're outside. So yeah, they would just come up and beg for food basically, and then run away when they were happy with what they got or if you got too close. So I'm very excited to fix our yard fence up so that our ducks can wander around while we garden. All right, so here is Four of Swords, the underpainting. Did that pretty fast actually. I'm trying to get my speed up so I can get more of these done faster. So, yeah, it's like 2, almost 3 in the afternoon. I'm gonna go, I don't know, maybe take a walk and clean up, and then I will probably start another one. So I try to get up like before 7. Most days I do it just fine. This morning it was like 6:58 when my feet finally hit the floor, but I'm here. And I'm not one of those hustle people, okay? The hustle is stupid. Like, you should sleep. But I've been restless since like 5 this morning, so it's just time to like give up on it and like come say good morning to my plants. And I gotta try to get the fire going. It's actually not as cold in here this morning as it is or has been most mornings lately, so that's really nice. I appreciate that, but it is still a little chilly. I got a new sweater. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like skulls on it. It looks cute, but it'll cut you. No, I don't know. Anyway, mornings are tough sometimes. Like most things with fires, you gotta start small and work your way up, so. Let's see how many eggs I got today. I don't know if everybody's out yet. Boots, you scared me. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You scared the shit out of me. Running up behind me like that. Sorry. One duck egg this morning, which probably means that there's some hidden somewhere. found one more, but maybe because it's so cold they're not laying? I'm not really sure. Okay, time to get them food. A lot of the pieces that I am working on this week are very florally, and they have like blue skies, and it just makes me really, really miss summer and the spring and the rain. And of course, I miss the flowers and just being able to go outside and swimming. So, yeah, I have summer on my mind, and it's only February. So, that kind of stinks. But thankfully, summer comes pretty early here in Georgia, and it lasts a very long time. And I know that by the middle of September, I will be wishing that it was cold outside, and I will be totally sick of sunburns and sweating and mosquitoes and humidity and the thunderstorms and all of the bugs and everything else about a summer in the South that I don't really love. I realize that I have said almost nothing about what I am doing with this painting, and if you are curious about all the pieces that I worked on, the technical processes that went on screen and off screen, or seeing any of these pieces being created start to finish, I will be posting that kind of content at my Patreon, which you can go to patreon.com/spellboundbrush in order to access that. And I will be posting a tutorial of painting the first painting you saw in this video of the girl with the moonflowers and the dogwood blossoms and stuff. So I still actually haven't finished that painting as of right now, but I'm almost done with it. I have one more pass on it, and then I will be done, and I will be editing that tutorial. So if you're interested in more how to paint kind of content, go check out my Patreon. I'm also posting a lot of behind the scenes content and sketches and kind of secret stuff that I won't really be sharing about the Angel Tarot project that I'm working on for Llewellyn Worldwide with Leeza Robertson. So if you're interested in tarot or angels or just seeing how something like that comes together, all of that kind of content will also be at my Patreon. Okay, so I'll see you next week for another vlog where I probably will still be ranting about how much I want it to be summer already. So see you then. Bye-bye.